This is episode 2 of Stories from the Haven Tent. And today we're going to talk about something that I've been suffering with and I don't want you to have it. It's called tinnitus. Now, I am not going to sit here and blame riding a motorcycle on why I have tinnitus. In fact, my doctors think that it was from COVID. So I'm not going to, for 1 second, come across like, well, the loud noise from riding a motorcycle has caused this. But if I would have known that this kind of agony could be caused by loud noise from hearing loss, I would have been much more concerned than worrying about a little bit of hearing loss. So since about April, a little bit before the Fool's Ride, I started getting a ringing in my ears. Now that ringing is called tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to call it. And one of the things that can happen with tinnitus, as you start to lose hearing, your brain doesn't understand that it's missing a signal, so it invents a signal. And mine was ringing at about 7,400 hertz. This very loud, high-pitched ringing. And as the months went on, it got louder and louder from where it was just this background noise to now where it was right here. It was the loudest sound in the room, no matter how loud the room. And it just kept getting louder and louder and worse and worse and worse. And I started freaking out. By June and July, I was really depressed. I didn't ride much this summer because of it, just because any loud noises also I was becoming extremely sensitive to. If my wife was cutting on a chopping board, on the chopping block, just making dinner, it was like 10 to 15 times louder than normal. And it just drove me, you jiggle keys. It was the high frequency. And so now I became extremely sensitive to high frequency sounds. Fortunately, on the motorcycle, with earplugs, I was doing okay. But even then, the exhaust was much louder than normal. I was on not on the Fool's Ride, I was on the Allegheny, on Kane's Allegheny ride. And I was behind this dude. This muffler was so loud. I couldn't even behind him. And no one else seemed to, it was loud, but I was like, I'm going to have to go home if I don't get out from behind this guy because it was so loud. It just was killing my head. And then when we were there, we went out for dinner and there was a guy playing acoustic guitar and a guy playing bass. And I had to put earplugs in and go into the restroom just to get away from the noise. And even in the restroom, it was too loud. So basically, if you're familiar with the soundboard, or a mixer, what my brain has done, that signal's gone, so it's like it turned the mixer all the way up, which if you have a microphone attached, what that does is cause feedback, a high-pitched humming. And so it's very similar to what was going on with me. All the sounds, because my brain was searching for that missing signal, it amplified everything, and so everything was louder. Super hearing is a nightmare. So I dealt with that all through the summer, and then I got on a clinical trial using an app, listening to these crazy tones. I'll let you hear them. I don't have it with me at the moment. And this seemed to really help with the tinnitus. It started to go down, and I noticed that now my tinnitus was not as loud. It was about 6,400 hertz, and then it went down even more to where now it's a much deeper sound. It's at about 1,000 hertz, maybe 1,200 hertz. Here, I'll let you listen to the difference between the three. And now that's much more manageable, and things have quieted down. That, and then with some coping therapy, has really helped. So the bottom line is, can a motorcycle cause this? Yes, because the volume inside of the helmet is very loud. And you think you put your earplugs in and that's only going to bring it down. Let's say it's extremely winding, you got a lot of buffeting, and you have an adventure helmet that like this one. If we weren't convinced it was COVID, I'm convinced this aided to it. Because a helmet like this on the highway lets a lot of noise in. And it is, I swear, I haven't tested it, I swear it's 100 hertz inside of here. Damage to your ears can happen after 90 for a sustained period. So with the earplugs, it brings it down at about 30. And when I went on my scope out ride to Ohio, guess what I forgot to wear that day? And I wore this helmet. So that was before April. So between COVID and that, I think these guys did not make my life good. So what I'm saying is a quiet helmet is a blessing. What's the point? Wear earplugs. Wear really good earplugs when you ride. Protect your hearing. That's my, the more you know, you do not want it. Tinnitus it's one of those things that nobody talks about. And the problem is everybody seems to, oh yeah, my ears ring. And that's been the biggest problem, that like it's been super annoying because everybody thinks, oh yeah, my ears ring. No, you don't understand. It's louder than my voice. It's louder than the loudest voice in the room. It's a nightmare. And it's that way 24/7 and never ends. Now that kind of destructive thinking that it's there 24/7 and never ends, you know what that does to your mind? That actually makes your tinnitus worse because your brain says, oh, this sound is important to him. He's worried about it. Crank it up. Keep it going. Because it's totally invented. Your brain just needs to figure out that this is not a good sound. And you do that through various coping mechanisms, listening to other high-pitched frequencies, listening to sounds of crickets in the rain and being in nature. Even a trip like this is really good for my hearing because last night the crickets were just beautiful. And all those kinds of sounds seem to help tame the tinnitus. And of course, stress, high stress, whew, that's going to make your tinnitus flare up like crazy. Again, motorcycle ride is very good to relieve stress. Even when you're going through mud and going through crazy stuff, it's taking stress out of your life. So motorcycle riding could be, if you're already suffering from tinnitus, it could be very good. Just protect your hearing while you're doing it. The bottom line of this talk by the Haven Tent is don't get tinnitus, protect your hearing, and I'll see you on the next journey.